G'day everyone, I have here the brand new brushless 3-speed impact driver from DeWALT. This is the DCF887. This little package here is spec'd up to 205 Newton meters, which is absolutely monstrous. The highest torque rating that has been claimed so far for an impact driver, and it's also got really high RPM, 3,250 RPM in top speed, and that's going to help you drive in decking screws and like bugle batten screws into pine really fast. So that's really cool. It does do them really quickly. Now you've also got two other speeds. You've got 1,000 RPM and you've got 2,800 RPM as your second speed. Now that first speed is not only low RPM, but it's actually really low torque as well. So it actually turns this impact driver into like a little screwdriver. So if you're assembling really fine work, plastic stuff or electronics, pocket screws, stuff where you could just destroy your work with, with the power that this has in third speed, this is actually really safe to use. It's the type of thing that'll push a Phillips head screw into a pre-drilled hole, but not when it's not pre-drilled. So it's really low in torque and it actually really helps with a lot of things. So I like that. I like having speed options. Not everyone goes for it. You do have a variable speed trigger in all your speeds anyway, but I think it's worthwhile having, and I'm glad they've got it in here. In terms of just ball busting torque, it's got 3,800 impacts per minute, which is really high, and as I said, 205 Newton meters. So I wanted to really give this thing a hard test. So I took some long bugle batten screws, 125 mil, and I drove them down into a pretty hard old cypress pine post, and really it just smashed it in. It didn't really blink. So that was really impressive, and I thought, well, I'm going to up the stakes a bit. I went out and I bought some coach bolts, 10 mil and 12 mil, and I sunk them into some rough sawn treated pine posts. Now the 10 mil coach bolts just got driven in so fast that it really didn't struggle with it at all, which was really impressive, because 10 mil coach bolts are going to do the vast majority of what you would hope an impact driver would do. So I got 12 mil coach bolts as well, and of course it slows down. Neither of these were pre-drilled. It was all not pre-drilled, and it managed to sink the 12 mil coach bolts all the way down flush with the timber and start compressing the washer down into the timber. So look, I can't tell you enough how powerful this tool is. It just really it just goes berserk. So I'll get on to some other specs about this unit that are worth knowing. It's about 1.3 kilos with a slim battery. I've got a slim battery on here now. Of course it comes with a 5 amp hour packs in other kits, so it's going to weigh a few hundred grams more, but it's very light and very comfortable. DeWALT make a big song and dance about their handles, and they are quite comfortable. I really like them. Yeah, you can get this pack, as I said, with slim batteries, 2 amp hour or the 5 amp hour batteries. Of course, the tradies who use it all day are going to want the bigger batteries. And actually, something to note that I had escaped my attention is that the DeWALT batteries actually have a 2-year warranty if they have the yellow top. They're premium batteries. So the ones that are all black have the 1-year battery, but I'm glad to see they've stepped up and given 2-year warranties on their better batteries, 2s, 4s, 5s, because that's what all the other manufacturers are doing. So look, it's also important to note that in an impact driver, nearly all impact drivers, including the DeWALT, they actually get a power increase from a larger battery. So not just runtime, they actually have more power because there are more cells in the battery to draw from. You get quite a significant power increase going from a slim battery to a fat battery. Of course, it's still really powerful with the slim, but it is worth knowing if you're using it for hard tasks along a lot of the day, you want a high capacity battery on it. It's only 135 mil in length, which is quite short, not the very shortest on the market, but it is quite short, and it's got a single hand bit holder. So the single handed bit holder is really handy because if you're holding something else, you've got a handful of screws or material, you can place a bit into this impact driver with one hand. You just push it in and it locks in, which is really great. Several of the brands do that, but what none of the others that I've encountered do is single-handed ejection. So you pop the little bit holder forward and it actually ejects the bit and allows you to take it out with one hand. They're the only ones who have that, I think. I like DeWALT's bit holder the best of any impact driver that I've used. So that's really cool. Another thing that they are the best at is lights. They've got 3 LEDs around the nose of the impact driver, which means you get no shadow. It's really bright. It stays on for like 20 seconds or so after you let go of the trigger. So I mean, of course they were going to continue doing that from the other impact drivers, but it is worth mentioning because it's awesome. I've mentioned the warranty. Look, it really is a powerhouse. There's very little bad things to say about it. One thing I would say is that it doesn't have like a self-drilling, self-tapping mode for sheet metal, tubing, that sort of stuff. Some of the other leading brands do have that, and it helps you to put in metal screws without destroying the thread that you just make each time. With a really high speed and power, they slow down. This one doesn't have it, so maybe DeWALT can put that on the next one. But that is the only thing I can say that I wish it had, because in every other way, this impact driver seems to be the biggest, baddest guy on the block. I really like it. So now, something else to mention is we are about to put out a impact driver comparison with the latest and greatest from 6 of the leading brands: the DeWALT, this one, the Milwaukee, Makita, Metabo, Hitachi, and Bosch. So it's going to be really big. It's going to take ages, but I think you're going to love it. So if you want to know who has the king of all impact drivers, stay tuned. It'll be out in the next couple of weeks, and we'll put them to the test. So yeah, look, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. If you liked this video, please let us know. Please comment. Tell me what if you got this one, if you want to buy it, if you got something else. And we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.